The Drowned Keeper of Penfield Reef Light, Fairfield, CT. The sea has a way of swallowing its secrets, dragging them down into its depths where they can remain hidden for eternity. But sometimes the dead refuse to stay buried. Sometimes they return to haunt the living with the weight of their unfinished business. In the cold waters of Long Island Sound, just off the coast of Fairfield, Connecticut, lies a treacherous underwater landscape known as Penfield Reef. It is a place that does not make itself known easily, lying low and submerged, waiting patiently for the unsuspecting mariners who dare to navigate its waters. The waves can appear gentle, lapping innocently against the hull of a boat, until they suddenly reveal their true nature, an unforgiving force that can overturn even the most steadfast vessel. To guard against this hidden danger, the Penfield Reef Lighthouse was erected in 1874. Its purpose was simple but vital: to warn passing ships of the reef lurking beneath the surface, ready to claim any seafarer who strayed too close. The lighthouse stood tall, a solitary sentinel against the relentless tides, a bulwark of light shining through darkness, fog, and storm. But even this beacon of hope is not immune to the whims of the sea. Inside the lighthouse, life was dictated by routine. The keeper, a man named Frederick A. rose with the sun, tended to the light, and performed his duties with unwavering diligence. Yet the isolation of his post weighed heavily upon him, day after day, as he looked out over the vast expanse of water, knowing that the world beyond was filled with warmth and companionship, far away from the lonely rocks that held him captive. On December 22, 1916, just days before Christmas, a yearning for home grew unbearable within Jordan. The holidays, a time for gathering with loved ones, brought a painful sting to his solitude. He made the fateful decision to leave the lighthouse and attempt a crossing to the shore in a small boat, despite the rough winter weather that warned against such a venture. The water was cold, the winds howled, and the waves rose high, but desperate for connection, he set out. It was a perilous journey, and the sea was merciless. Jordan's small boat capsized almost instantly in the turbulent waters of the Sound. In that moment, life as he knew it slipped away, swallowed by the depths. The icy grip of the water closed around him, grasping him with ferocious strength. Panic and cold overwhelmed him. The shore felt impossibly distant, and as he struggled against the waves, he realized he was not alone. His assistant keeper, Rudolph Iten, watched helplessly from the lighthouse, witnessing the tragedy unfold before his eyes. Iten wasted no time, launching his own desperate attempt to rescue Jordan, but the cold, unyielding water swallowed both hope and man, leaving nothing behind but silence. The lighthouse continued to beacon, the light still turning, but the keeper was no longer at his post. Days turned into weeks, and the lighthouse remained, a quiet monument to Jordan's sacrifice. Yet something began to shift in the air. It was not long before Iten, grappling with grief and the burden of his failure, encountered the impossible. In the quiet solitude of the keeper's quarters, he saw a figure, a wet, silent apparition that chilled him to the bone. It was Frederick A. returned from the depths of the sea, haunting the very walls he had once tended. The ghost of the drowned keeper was not a horrific wraith, nor a malevolent specter seeking vengeance. He was simply there, wet, silent, and forever bound to the lighthouse. It was a haunting born not of rage, but of sorrow. The waters that had taken him now seemed to linger within the walls of the keeper's quarters. The very essence of his tragic fate enveloped the space he had once filled with his presence. As time passed, the stories of Jordan's ghost spread throughout the local community. Visitors to the lighthouse began to report strange occurrences. The sound of footsteps echoing through the empty halls, doors opening and closing without explanation, and a chilling draft that swept through the keeper's quarters. Each unexplained phenomenon echoed the essence of a man who had remained, eternally watching over the light he had once tended. The Penfield Reef Lighthouse transformed from a mere structure of stone and mortar into a living narrative of loss and remembrance. Jordan's spirit, though bound to the lighthouse, was not a figure of dread, but rather a poignant reminder of duty unfulfilled and the enduring nature of love and hope. He is the keeper who never left. Even as years turned into decades, the stories of his haunting persisted, woven into the fabric of Connecticut folklore. The sea continued to roll and crash against the reef, and the lighthouse kept its vigil, guiding mariners safely past the treacherous rocks. But always, just beneath the surface, lingered the memory of Fred Jordan, the man who answered the call of duty, yet was swallowed whole by the very waters he had sworn to watch over. To this day, the legacy of Frederick A. Jordan lives on at Penfield Reef. The lighthouse remains an enduring beacon in the Sound, a reminder of both the beauty and the peril of the sea. Visitors may come seeking ghostly encounters or stories to share, but they leave with the knowledge that some spirits refuse to depart. They linger, forever tied to the places they loved, watching over the light, waiting for the tide to bring them home. The next time you stand before the restless waves of Long Island Sound, remember the drowned keeper of Penfield Reef Light, for he is still there, forever bound to the watery depths and the lighthouse that bears witness to his tragic tale. The sea may claim its secrets, but some stories are meant to endure, echoing softly through the ages, reminding us that love and duty can transcend even the finality of death. Read the full story at AmericanGhostStories.com.